So remember, we are going to be using Microsoft Publisher, and it's not on our desktop. We need to click on CCPS Applications. And it's going to take a minute to load. Just wait. Don't keep on clicking. Okay, once you're in CCPS Applications, you want to go to General Software, which is all the way at the tippity top, General Software. And when you're in General Software, you're going to look for this ocean blue P, and underneath it, it says MS Publisher. That's what we're looking for. And we're going to open that up. And everybody should be on this page. If you are not on this page, ask your neighbor for help. Okay? All right. So listen, guys. There's two options here. Well, first of all, these are all the cool things that you can create in Publisher. Flyers, envelopes, certificates, advertisements, brochures, business cards. This is made for designing different things, not just a Word document like Word. But today we're going to start with a blank slate because we're creating our own project, our family tree. So you get to decide, first of all, the layout of your paper. Okay, we have first the portrait, and it's called a portrait because if I was to take a self-portrait of myself, it would be up and down, it'd be vertical. So you can pick the portrait for your tree, or right next to it is the landscape. And again, landscape is called landscape because if I was to take a picture and I wanted the sunset and the horizon, I'd want it to go across because I'd want it to get as much of the landscape as I could. Okay, so you get to decide, portrait or landscape. Go ahead and click on which one you want now. And it'll open up to a blank page.
How do you do that?
Okay, so some people don't like all of this gray around. And they want to see more of the white that they're going to be editing because the white part is your page. So if you want to zoom in at all, you want to click on this little plus sign all the way down here at the bottom, right-hand corner, and it'll make it bigger. Okay? I don't like it to be too big because I actually rather see my whole page. Okay, so this is actually a really easy lesson because we're going to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's the same thing, just multiple times. Now, first thing I'm going to do, insert, and you have two options here. I'm going to show you both. You can start with word art. I like word art because it's fun. It's easier to manipulate or change. So if I click on word art, I can either pick one of these up here or I can pick one of these down here. So I click on the one that I want, and I'm going to type the first name. I'm going to start with my mom. And I'm putting first and last names. You do not have to put a first and last name. If you just have first names, that's fine. But I want first and last because of the way that I'm doing my tree. So I click OK. Now, this does not look like a tree trunk in any way, shape, or form. So what I'm going to do now is this little green dot, if I click on this little green dot, I can rotate it so it's now up and down. So this is going to be part of my tree trunk. Okay? Now, before I move on, I'm in my format. I can click on this to get to format if it's not already there. I can change the look of my word if I want to. I can change the fill color, and I'm going to make this, click more, standard. I'm going to make this brown because it's a tree trunk, yeah?
Yes.
I can change the outline color to brown as well. I can also change the shape. Okay? Well, that one was a good one. Nope, this one. No. This one. That's cool. I can add shadows if I want. 3D effects. Okay? So, that's my mom's name. Now, I go to Insert, Word Art. I was on this one. And now I'm going to do my mother-in-law's name. Carol Knedgen is her name. I'm going to change the colors to brown, and I'm going to change the shape, and I'm going to twirl it so she's the other side of my tree trunk. Okay? And I want hers to be the same size as my mom's, because I think it's weird that they're different shapes. So see how I made it a different size just by dragging that box? If I want hers to be fatter, I can. If I want my mom's to be fatter, I can. Okay? So there's my tree trunk. And again, you can use multiple names. If you want your tree trunk to be longer, add another name on top of there. Okay? So another way that you can add names is insert text box. And when I click on text box, see how this is yellow? Now my mouse is different. It looks like a cross. So I can draw when my mouse is like a cross. And I can change my font to something different. I can change the size. And again, I can change the color. And I can put a new name. Crystal Johnson, this is my sister's name. I can make my text box wider. I can, again, this little green dot, tilt it a little bit. Maybe I want it to be smaller. And then to move a text box, I have to have my mouse over the line so that there's 4 arrows. See how that changes into 4 arrows? Here it's only 2 arrows. Here it's 4. When it's on 4, I can move the whole thing over. Okay? So there's a tree branch. So I just move these things around until they are the way that I want them to be. And if I want to format this or anything, all I have to do is double click on it. But I have to say, guys, I would suggest inserting word art. You can use a text box if you want, but I think that word art is easier to change and resize and reshape. I feel like it's much easier. Okay? So that's pretty much all we're doing today. We're eventually going to add other clip art in there, but I think today all we're going to get to is the names. And if you finish the names today, raise your hand. I'll come over and check it, or an adult will come check your work. And maybe we can do some dog if we finish early, but I don't know if we'll get finished early. Okay? So this is what you're doing today. Let's get started.